The loudest person in the room is never the most dangerous one. It's the quiet one, in the corner, watching, listening, remembering everything. And while everyone else is busy talking, they already know exactly who you are. Today we uncover the dark psychology behind silence and why the quietest person you know may be the most powerful one in your life. Stay till the end, because point number 7 will completely change how you see silence forever. Point 1. They watch while others talk. Think about the last social gathering you attended. Who was talking the most? Now think carefully. Who was watching the most? That quiet person in the corner wasn't being shy. They weren't being awkward. They were studying everyone in that room. Every reaction, every expression, every contradiction between what people said and what their faces showed. While you were busy presenting yourself to the world, the quiet person had already figured out exactly who you really are. Not who you pretend to be, who you are. Silence isn't emptiness. It's data collection. Point 2. Every word they say has weight. Have you ever noticed that when a quiet person finally speaks, everyone listens? That's not an accident. When someone speaks constantly, their words lose value. Like currency that's been overprinted. But the quiet person has been saving their words, choosing them carefully, weighing them deliberately. So when they finally speak, every single word lands. Think about the most powerful people you know. The ones who command a room without trying. They don't fill every silence. They use every silence. There is a profound difference. Point 3. Impossible to read. Here's what makes quiet people truly dangerous. You cannot read them. With loud people, you always know exactly where you stand. They tell you everything, their opinions, their plans, their weaknesses. But the quiet person? They reveal nothing they don't choose to reveal. Your brain is constantly trying to understand the people around you. It needs information to feel safe. And when someone gives your brain nothing to work with, that uncertainty creates something powerful, psychological discomfort. And discomfort demands your full attention. Point 4. They don't react. They respond. Someone says something cruel to you. What's your natural response? Most people react instantly. Emotions take over. Voice raises. Words come out before thoughts can stop them. And in that moment, they've shown every card in their hand. But watch what a quiet person does. They pause. They look at you calmly. And then, slowly, they respond. Not from emotion, from calculation. Your brain under stress releases cortisol, the stress hormone. It makes you impulsive. It makes you reactive. The quiet person has trained themselves to let that wave pass before they speak. That pause you mistake for weakness is actually complete control. Point 5. People always underestimate them. This is perhaps the quiet person's greatest advantage, because humans are wired to judge confidence by volume. The loud, assertive, always talking person is seen as the leader. The quiet one is seen as background, unimportant, easy to overlook, and that is the biggest mistake anyone can make. Because while you're ignoring the quiet person, they have already mapped your weaknesses, understood your patterns, and positioned themselves exactly where they need to be. You never saw them coming because you never bothered to look. Point 6. Silence makes people confess. Here is one of the most fascinating and dangerous psychological truths about silence. It is unbearable to the human brain. Think about the last time a conversation went quiet. What happened? Someone filled it immediately. That's not politeness. That's your brain in psychological distress. Silence triggers what psychologists call social discomfort, a deep instinct to fill empty conversational space. And here's the dark part. When people are uncomfortable, When they feel that desperate need to fill the silence, they say things they never intended to say. They reveal. They confess. They overshare. The quiet person just sits in that silence and lets you hand them everything they need to know. Point 7. When they do speak, everything stops. This is the point that changes everything. Quiet people choose their battles carefully. Not every argument deserves their energy. Not every opinion deserves their words. Not every person deserves their attention. But when they finally decide that something is worth speaking about, the room changes. People lean in. Conversations stop. And in that moment, the quiet person who was invisible for so long commands everything, because they have spent all this time building something that loud people never have. Credibility through restraint. Every word they didn't say made the words they did say more powerful. 7 truths about the person you probably overlooked. They were watching while you were talking. They were listening while you were performing. And they understood more about you in 1 hour of silence than most people understood in a lifetime of conversation. The next time you're in a room with someone quiet, don't mistake their silence for emptiness, because silence isn't weakness. Silence isn't shyness. Silence is strategy. And the quiet ones have been playing a different game than everyone else all along. Share this with someone who needs to understand the power of silence. Because somewhere out there, a quiet person is being underestimated right now. Tell them their silence is their greatest weapon. The psychology doesn't stop here. Every week on the Ambition Paradox, we go deeper into the truths they never taught you. The dark patterns behind human behavior. The silent weapons people use against you. The psychology of power, silence, and control. If you're ready to see what most people can't, subscribe to the Ambition Paradox. Because the people who understand human nature are never the ones who get played by it.